Upshaw Howard. I'm the big sis, not the little one.
Hey y'all, it's Denise Nicole Upshaw. And yeah, I'm the little sis, but I've been giving Kimba a run for her money since the 99 and the 2000s.
And you are here with the Upshaw sisters, where we are going to keep it on the
On
up
the
and
up and up.
up. Nicole, what do you have for us today?
Yeah, Kimba. So today I have been thinking, like, what do I want to wear? I was getting prepared for today's show and I was looking through my closet, like, do I want to just put on like a little graphic tee or do I want to, do the whole do? And it made me think, like, what do I want to represent on our show? Because
Hmm.
partially I want to be comfortable
Hmm.
and live in my truth, in my athleisure wear. But I also want to recognize what my brand is.
Mm.
And when I think about my brand and how I want that to be represented on our show, it made me step up my game a little bit and take the extra time to elevate my look.
Okay.
So I think today we should talk about what is our personal brand and how do we present ourselves, our brand, our mission, our purpose to the public. And this kind of aligns with what we've been thinking about, which is to have a month of the month of August being our fashion month, where we talk about and highlight fashion, how it represents who we are as a
Hmm.
person, how do we shop on a budget, how
Yes.
do we get the kids ready to go back to school without breaking the bank. So, what are your thoughts on fashion?
Wow. Um, I used to think I was a fashionista until I learned I'm not. I'm super simple. I like to think of myself as the girl next door. I like to think about just natural beauty. I have a story for that. I'll save it. As to how and why I'm actually considered like a natural beauty. Um, but for me, I don't like to put a whole lot into it. I make sure that I am clean and that I'm presentable. I like to have classic items. I have things in my closet that I've had for 20 years or more, still in good condition. And for me, I think that's because pay I will pay the price for something classic and I can just kind of accessorize it to put it on trend
Right.
before I get a bunch of trendy things that are also not the best quality. So I
Mm,
choose quality over quantity. And the way that I am, I think that I can blend in any crowd. I'm not a standout person. Ooh, look at me. I'm more of a you see me, like you see me. But not like, ooh, who's that? I don't know. I'm simple. And that's who I am. That's what I
and you
represent.
said you haven't always been like that, right? Like you said that you maybe in your younger years were you considered yourself a fashionista. How did that make you feel versus now? How does being like a natural make you feel?
I was playing. I was never a fashionista.
Oh, okay. I've seen some pictures though, and I
I was
remember you.
simple. Yeah, I mean, I always had it together. Now, when I step out,
Yeah,
I'm gonna step out. Like I'm going to step out.
right.
I'm going to get compliments. I am, and I'm not saying this from a conceited standpoint.
Right. Yeah.
Because even when I step out, I'm not made up, right? I don't know how to wear makeup. And 2 seconds ago, I said I had a story. Back when I was like maybe 12 years old, a couple friends had come over to the house and they were playing in makeup. They used to wear makeup and they were allowed to wear makeup at 12,
Mhm.
right? Okay, so be it. Um, I wasn't, but I thought that I should try on this lipstick that they had.
Mhm.
And dad came in and dad was like, "What are you doing? Take that off right now." and he was just like, you are beautiful, you are pretty. And I don't know if that was the beginning of instilling this natural beauty in me. Or if that had been being said, a long time ago. And again, I mean, and I'm not saying it from a conceited standpoint, I'm saying it from a love on yourself standpoint,
Right.
you know? And he was just basically like, if you start wearing makeup now, not only will people start thinking that you're older than you are,
Mm.
not would you just start thinking that you are older than you are. You don't want to give that off. You want to be young forever, if you will. And I'm kind of paraphrasing,
Right.
because this is what I got out of it. But it was just like, if you love on yourself and you take good care of yourself, you take care of your skin. I don't put anything on my skin, like I
Mhm.
put water, like I use, I shouldn't say anything, right? Because that wouldn't be honest. I
Yeah.
use a simple scrub, I use a simple moisturizer, I drink plenty of water, and I mind my business. That's my
Right.
beauty regimen.
That's your beauty regimen. Yeah.
But with that, back to the actual clothes, right?
Right.
I try to keep it simple as possible, because I don't have a lot of time. I don't have time to keep going in the into the bathroom checking myself. Am I still together? I'm gonna just kind of put it together and go. So that's why I think I'm just like the girl next door.
Okay. I can feel that. I can feel that. Absolutely. For me, I would say that my style growing up was very bold. I started off when I remember, and I've seen pictures recently. My mom, she would dress me in like polka dots and like very 90s looks, very fashionable with pearl earrings and pearls and necklace, and that was very much like a look that I adopted from her in the sense of being very fashionable.
Right.
When I was into my teen years, my friends and I wore a lot of streetwear, like the DKNY, Guess,
Hmm.
all of those brands. The name brand was so important.
Right.
And then as I got into my like later teen years in high school, wearing more luxury brands and
Hmm.
going to the point of quality and those brands just lasting long and it feels good. It wears well. And then as I got older and realized like that lifestyle is unsustainable, always buying a bunch of designer clothes. As much as I can appreciate the quality of the clothes,
Hmm.
I got introduced to thrifting.
Okay.
And when I got introduced to thrifting, for those of you who aren't familiar, thrifting is like going to consignment stores or discount stores to, look through sometimes racks of clothing to
Right.
find that thing that really speaks to you. Sometimes it's worn, sometimes it's, fresh from the vendor, from the manufacturer. But for the most part, it's discounted clothing and it's typically like a polyester blend rather than
Okay.
a silk or a satin, But what I can appreciate about the thrifting and the thrift stores is that I found a lot of good quality stuff, and what I can appreciate is that like for my style now, I consider it to be like casually chic.
Okay.
And so where it's almost like an effortless kind of a chic, where it's
Right.
not always, yeah, putting a whole lot into it. I think of it as casually chic when I go to work, and just having that statement necklace, a nice blouse. TJ Maxx has been a long time friend of mine, and I love going there to find like discounted brands. But if I do go out, for instance, to an event, to a nice dinner or something, then I may step it up and wear something
Right.
a little bit more with a designer look to it.
Right.
I have come to find as I've gotten older that the look is going to be the look, but it's how you wear it. So
Right.
I may do very basic top, like this. It's a little polka dot top to it, but very basic top and pants from TJ Maxx, or like it may have some little fashion look to
Hmm.
it. But then I wear a designer bag and designer shoes, and that elevates the look.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
the way that I was had in my head when you were saying that elevate things, right? And so when you
Yeah.
talk about being a fashionista, I think that fashionistas always have a way of elevating something. They can make a sweatsuit look really, really good. It's just like, girl, you
Right.
cute, and I'll put it on. I'm just wearing it. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, I think every morning that I wake up,
Yeah.
I it's what my energy is calling me to. Again,
Right.
everything in my closet is pretty classic, right?
Yeah.
Um, but it's, do I want to look like I'm at UC David? I mean, at UC Berkeley? Like, am I just in the Berkeley area and I'm just like
Right.
super casual, like sweats, like getting ready to go to class or something? I mean, I get
Yeah.
it. Like, I'm not in no one's class at this age, but still, I like the look. Do I want to feel like, I'm getting ready to go into the office
Hmm.
Monday through Thursday, or is this a
Right.
casual Friday?
Right.
Like, and so I consider those things. I'm like, okay, we're going to dinner. Who am I going with, and where are we going? I think all of those things play into what I'm wearing and how I'm feeling. Because if
Hmm.
I'm with someone who um, is super girly, then I'm going to put more effort into it, right? Because I don't want to be
Right.
super basic while they're super girly. If I'm with someone that's more basic, and then I'm somewhere in the, elevated stage a little bit, or
Yeah.
my husband and I are just going on some runs, and then I'm casual, or we're just going to hang out with some people that's casual, then I'm casual. But I think that the vibe always has to do with how I'm feeling that day. I'm not the person
Right.
that can pack weeks ahead of the trip. I might grab something, and I'll, like, say I'm going somewhere for 5 days. And then in my mind, I'll say, okay, let me put it on a calendar, mark out 5 days. I'll wear this in the day, I'll wear this at night, day, night, day, night. And I'm not doing that so that I'm saying Monday I'm wearing this, Saturday I'm wearing it. That's not it. It's to make sure that I have enough clothes. But everything that I have in there will still be worn according to the vibe. What is my energy level like? And that's how I actually get dressed, according to my energy.
To your vibe. Okay, I can appreciate that. Yeah, definitely the vibe check and asking like, okay, where are we going? What's the vibe like? That's, sometimes what really influences my decision on what I'm going to wear. I don't want to feel overdressed or underdressed. But then also, like you said, what is my energy for that day? So, like, if I'm feeling really good, but we're going to somewhere that I should probably be dressed a little more business casual or business professional,
Hmm.
but I'm feeling good, I might wear a brighter color top
Right.
than, and I might wear, a bright lip. So, I know we talked about the fashion side of things, and then you also mentioned makeup. But what about the rest of the appearance? Like when you were growing up, how important was hair? And we as Black women have gone on a hair journey for sure, right? Through
Definitely.
processed, through natural hair, through weaves and wigs and all type of things. So, what has your experience been with like hair?
So it's funny, right? I lived, just a little quick backstory.
Yeah.
I lived with my biological mom until I was about 10. And then I moved with dad.
Hmm.
And so Harriet pretty much raised me. Um, while my grandmother took me to the beauty salon once or twice, Harriet is who really started me getting my hair done every 2 weeks.
And who was Harriet?
Chicken.
Okay, got you. Got you. Okay, and that's dad's girlfriend at the time?
Well, yeah, but see, she's been in my life, since I was 5. So she's
Oh,
my
okay.
bonus mom,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So
Got
although you weren't raised under her, I was. Like,
you.
so
Right,
this is
right,
this is my bonus mom.
right.
Um, And I mean, it's just like she's been a godsend for me, right? But she's the one um, that introduced me to Jordache jeans. You know, when
Mm-hmm.
I was like maybe 6 or 7 or so. You know, she's the one that made that buy me Nikes, and so that was like my introduction to fashion. While
Mm-hmm.
his only thing was when it's time to go school shopping, make sure you buy 2 skirts. Because all I wanted to do was be in pants. And he was like, you gotta have 2 skirts at least. I'm not buying your clothes if you don't have 2 skirts. And then she's like, well, especially come junior high, she was like, well, no, she needs to go to the beauty salon. And so the guy at the time, it was on 73rd, on MacArthur and 73rd. And we used to go in there and he used to do both of our hair. Now, the thing
Okay.
about it is she didn't know how to comb her hair then, and she doesn't know how to comb her hair now. I didn't know how to comb my hair then, and I don't know how to comb my hair now. So, hence why it's pulled back in a bun. If I'm not at
Oh,
the shop, if I don't have braids, and don't ask me to style my braids either, it's not happening. It better last how it lasts. Now I am the wrap queen. Give me a roller set, let me wrap it, and I have curls.
right.
Don't ask me to curl my own hair. It ain't happening. Um, but I think again, the presentation is everything. And I think that my hair for me um, has always been the thing that I just make sure that I'm presentable. Um, I just that's all. All I can do is just make sure that I'm presentable. A few years ago, when I cut my locks off, I had long
Mm-hmm.
locks, and when I cut those off, and I was getting my hair back healthy, I was wearing it natural, but my hair pattern had actually changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was losing some of the denseness, I believe is what it's called. It wasn't as full.
Yeah.
But with the curl patterns or the lack of patterns, it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that was like do you call it the ugly frog stage? I forget how you say that.
Oh,
But
okay.
but I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of going through that. So while I thought I was going to wear my hair short for a bit of time, like yours is, and it was going to be
Yeah.
all cute and sassy and stuff, it didn't
Yeah.
work out like that for me. Because so if I'm not in the shop, which like I tried to be, but it only lasts for a few days
Right.
because of the way my hair is, and I yeah. So I just pull it back, and I'm presentable, and that's where we go. But I've gone through a lot of styles. I've gone through um, ponytails, added on. I've gone through waves. I've had crimps. I've had salt and pepper cuts. I've
Mm-hmm.
had shaved on the side with the designs. I've had just, like I said, roller sets. I've had bobs, short and long. I've done a lot. I've done different colors in my
Yeah.
hair. But I've never done a wig, and I've probably done a weave once or twice.
Okay.
And it's not that anything's wrong with it. It's just, it just hasn't been for me. And it's not to say that I
Right.
wouldn't try it. I might try it. It just hasn't been for me. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I know you go back in between, like, tell me about yours.
Wow. I mean, talk about hair journey. My hair journey has been as extensive as my eyebrow journey. It's been a whole thing. So I would say, yeah, my hair journey, I've had wearing my natural hair but permed. I did that between that and braids for most of my childhood.
Hmm.
And then as I got older, I definitely went more into weaves. I just like the versatility of it. There's a little bit of my sassy personality that comes out when I have hair in my face and I could throw. There's something. It's so funny because I remember this guy was like, "I don't like this version of you," because like with the hair, it just gave me like extra something to throw around to when I wanted to be sassy. But definitely had the weaves. Spent tens of thousands of dollars on weaves, on
Hmm.
hair, on spent so much time in shops getting it done. Spent so much time sitting on people's floor, getting my hair weaved and braided and all of that.
Yeah.
I've spent close to 20 hours in a hair shop waiting for my turn and getting the weave done and then getting it styled and leaving. Like it, and I just came to, I said, I'm tired. Like,
Right.
I'm tired of this.
Right.
I don't want to do this anymore. Not only for the financial reasons, but the practical reasons. Like, I had this one stylist who was so dope. Like, her hairstyles were just the the cut was always late. It was really nice,
Right.
but she never took appointments. So everybody had to get up and be at her door at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning. She wasn't even at her shop yet. People would be
Waiting
waiting
in
to get
line.
their place in line. It was first come,
Wow.
first serve. And I had to realize, like, this is ridiculous. Yes, I have never had an issue like with my own hair because, like I said, I used to wear my own hair perm, but I no longer wanted to do that. And I realized that some of it was because I didn't want the chemicals, and then
Right.
also I just don't have the energy or interest to do my hair every day.
Right.
And the weave allowed me to put it like maybe in a ponytail or like have curls in it, and then I just put on a bonnet or something.
Right.
But as I got older, I would say within the last seven seven or so years, I decided that I was going to cut off all the damaged hair, and do my teeny weeny afro, TWA. And there, it was like this whole spiritual journey of like, ooh, I'm washing my own hair, and I'm in the shower,
It
and
feels
there's
so good
water,
to
you
know.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just like, I went on this whole journey of products and everything else. And then I just realized, like, this is a lot too. Like, it's
Right.
not easy maintenance. And I was getting it dyed and styled and colored and all these different things. So I landed on just wearing my natural hair,
Yeah.
my natural curls. I go to the barber shop, I'll get it lined up, get a taper, and I love it. Like,
Yeah.
I get so many compliments on my hair, and it is the lowest maintenance hair that I have
Yeah.
had. It's or hairstyle that I've had. It's very natural. I think it's fitting to my facial features, and it complements the era that I'm in my age, which is ease,
Okay.
style, and affordability. Like,
It's
if
cute on you. It's
it's
really cute
easy.
on you. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
I think that you see I'm going gray, right?
Yes.
Um and
Same
with
with the
that
gray.
it's owning who I am, right?
Yes.
It goes back to that 12-year-old girl, whose dad
Mhm.
said, "Hey, you're beautiful as you are."
Yep.
You know, um, and so for me, I was coloring my hair. And I wasn't coloring my hair like, oh my gosh, I just don't want the gray to come in. I was just coloring my hair because I wanted a lighter color, like, and not like blonde, but, like I wanted a lighter color. And it worked, but like you said, it just kept happening and happening. So right now I have like three colors in my hair. The two natural colors, which is, like the blackish brown and then the
Yeah.
gray, they're called natural highlights.
Yes.
Someone said
Mhm.
that to me. They was like, oh, you have natural highlights. And then I have the tips are whatever brown color, like is left. So it's kind of like I have
Okay.
three colors in my hair right now. And I'm enjoying this stage. And again, I'm having grace with myself. Because should the day come that I decide, oh, I just want that color, I'm gonna get it. But I'm not gonna
Yeah.
run from this, like I'm gonna do
Right.
this. And if I decide that I'm gonna color it, I won't feel like I failed. And if I decide that I want to start over again, I will. And that's me telling myself, take it one day at a time,
Mhm.
but love yourself every single day. And that's what I'm doing. I'm in this stage of just loving my hair as it is. And you were talking about your
Absolutely.
eyebrows. Mine don't grow. This is me. And so here I
That is
am,
funny.
like,
Yes. The eyebrow journey for me has been, as I'm looking at them, these eyebrows are colored in, but I've gone through so many stages of eyebrows. But I think the point of me even just bringing that up in terms of like hair, fashion, and how it makes us feel is because it then translates into who we are and what our brand is.
Yes.
And the there's definitely a professional advantage
Hmm.
to having a strong brand. But Kimba, what to you are the advantages or benefits of having a strong personal brand, like your brand on a
Yeah.
personal level?
I think for me, um, modesty is key.
Hmm.
You know, I think modesty is key because it speaks to don't worry so much about what I'm wearing as much as I have to offer an intellect. I don't
Mm.
want the clothing or the hair or the accessories. I don't want that to distract from what I actually have to offer. Because see, if I open my mouth and a person has been distracted by everything else, they're not going to hear anything that's coming out of my mouth. And I think my intellect is the most powerful thing that I have. I think that's me. So I think my brand has everything to do with that. But I still have to show up attractive, right? I
Right.
have to be able to be attractive enough to keep your eye on me, but not so much that you know my body itself
Right.
is causing issues, or not so much that the colors are just so bold in a place
Hmm.
that it shouldn't be.
Hmm.
What's the energy? What's the vibe like you just said, the vibe check. So I have to make
Right.
sure that I fit in the room and stand out at the same time. So
And
how do I wrap that up into what my perfect brand is? Help me. I just I just gave you a summary.
yeah, that makes sense. You want to be heard rather than seen. You want to be appreciated for your intellect rather than your body. And you cherish and cultivate your mind in such a way that you do want that to shine in your interactions with others.
Yeah.
And the way that you said that, in terms of like you want the focus on the things, on what matters. And that's kind of difficult in a world that does promote us, especially in this country, I would say, where it promotes beauty over everything, right?
Absolutely.
I would suggest that my brand, it, or even just my approach to it, is has always been beauty and brains.
Yes.
Like I've always received a lot of compliments on my appearance and received a lot of compliments on my intellect. And I am just going back to what we talked about in a couple shows ago. Like I'm such a creative. I'm a creative in my own right.
Hmm.
And I love colors. I do when I do makeup, I think of it as an artistry,
Ah.
and the makeup artistry of it is not necessarily to cover my natural beauty or my natural features. It's to enhance. It's
Yes.
to almost to like when you're painting a picture, like there's a certain level of focus and intention that goes into every brush stroke, and that's kind of how I look at when I do makeup. Like how does it look with what I'm wearing? How does it match up? And so when I walk into a room, again, working in politics, working even in spaces where there are people who are way smarter than me,
Right.
like the what I'm wearing helps to build that confidence.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll wear a certain piece of jewelry that has meaning to me because of who gave it to me, or
Yes.
just how it looks, that statement piece, and it gives me some extra motivation and confidence. And
Right.
I can stand up in those rooms. And though, we shouldn't have to depend on other things to do that for us. We should have that internally, and I do. But for the most part, when I'm dressing myself, I'm thinking, who's in the room? How am I going to be moving? How do I want to present myself? Does this red give me an extra bit of boldness or
Right.
confidence that somebody may think twice before? Like
Yeah.
it's in that world, it's such a dog eat dog world that every little thing actually has meaning and can make or break that
Right.
deal or situation that you're trying to
I love that
cultivate there.
description. Right. I mean, because it says bold, not vulnerable.
Yes.
It says soft yet strong. Like
Yeah.
it gives that was like a perfect, like description, just the enhancements of it all. Because there is no right way or wrong way. We
Right.
just have to show up as who we are, like, and I think that that's what we have to understand is that we set our own beauty standards. We don't allow industries or celebrities or we don't let these things define us. I take pride in being healthy, and being healthy is the foods that I'm eating, the thoughts, that I'm consuming, the exercise that I give to my body. you know um, i don't think that I don't think that there is a right or wrong to someone who has, how do I say it, who is thicker versus thinner. I just think healthy. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Because there are some very thick people who are far more healthier than the thin people.
Right.
So I don't think that the size in and of itself makes the difference as much as I believe that the health is what's most important. And when we're healthy, um, physically, spiritually, mentally, it shows up. It shows up in the attitude. It shows up in the clothes that we're wearing, because that speaks to our self-esteem. It
Mm-hmm.
shows up in how we speak to others, because that's about the self-esteem. So we wear all of this is our fashion. You know what I mean? It's all fashion. And like you said, thinking about some of the accessories, they may have been gifted, they may have been inherited. And these are things that you have to be able to incorporate into just the things you wear. And I think that's what makes me appreciate quality over quantity. That's what makes me appreciate just classic, simple things. Like, so if we're doing the polka dots, or we're doing, like bold colors, if we're doing these things, then cool, let's have fun with it. Let's have
Mm-hmm.
fun. But we have to also realize that we're limited in the amount of times that we can wear that. Because do we keep showing up to the same place in it? Because we're going to get compliments, but at some point, all our pictures are going to be the same. And I don't want my pictures to all be the same.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And so as we continue to break down like fashion and how it impacts our lives on a daily basis, how we use it to enhance our look, our mood, our opportunities. We here on Up and Up are going to use this month to continue on this path. So, Kimba, what can folks look forward to in some of the August episodes?
Well, I think we should bring in some experts. We have a couple experts lined up because I am not the expert. Um, although I joked, I am really not the expert. I am the girl
Right.
next door. But we're going to bring in some folks who are girls next door, yet they have elevated themselves. We are going to bring in someone who can speak on shopping on the budget,
Yeah.
and that you don't have to break the bank to be beautiful. And we're just going to see where that goes with it. We're going to have fun. We will go from talking about transitioning from summer to fall. We'll, maybe have some insight on what back to school looks like. Yeah, we're just gonna have a little fun. Why not? I mean, it's the perfect way. Summer's getting ready to wind down. Is why not? Why not be beautiful, bold, and
Brilliant.
at the same time?
Yes, I love it. I love it. Triple B energy. And so, on that note, we do want to just remind everyone that we are looking forward to hearing from you. We'd love to get your feedback, to hear your stories of, the inspiration that and love and care and support that you've received from your sister. Please share those sister moments with us. If you have show ideas, please do that as well. You can reach us at upshawsisters@gmail.com. Again, that's upshawsisters@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And, we just want to continue to tell y'all to stay in the light and keep it on the
Up
up and up.
and up.
Keep it on the up and up. All right, y'all.